Hey everybody, Joe here. Thanks for tuning into my channel today. This will be round 2 of early Saturday morning magic. Trying to wake my brain up with some riveting MTG action. My first opponent was a Grixis player running Thing in the Ice. I was able to defeat that guy. Had some counter spells. He played Thing in the Ice, didn't get to bounce my team. I feel like Thing in the Ice, after playing against it a bunch of times, is really weak against Merfolk, because by the time it bounces my team, I either have a lot of lands or I have AEther Vial. So we have an opponent. I'm going to go ahead and roll. 11's not terrible, and I won. So it's like the first time I won a die roll in a long time. So this is tricky. I really love keeping hands like this, where I have a bunch of spells that only require one more mana of any color to start drawing me cards. But I'm on the play, and I'm going to be responsible. I'm going to take them all again. Alright, I feel like I should have kept my 7 because this is worse, but I do get to scry. If I hit blue, I get to play Spreading Seas. I have a Dismember. But these guys require double blue. I don't have AEther Vial. Let's go down to 5. That's better. View the top, and a Lord is exactly what the doctor ordered. So we'll go ahead and, I guess we'll lead on... That doesn't matter. I'll just play an island. Tap it, make the opponent think I'm doing something, and whatever. I'll just end. Let's hope for like an overgrown tomb would be a little rough, because then it might be followed with a Inquisition or Thoughtseize, but just want a good target for Spreading Seas, and that's decent. Especially if he doesn't play anything. Alright, so excuse me. Let's see. Wanderwine Hub, I'm gonna reveal the Lord. That's gonna get untapped, and we'll just go ahead and point at his land. He might bolt me in response. That's fine. Maybe not. Alright, and we draw into another Lord. So this hand is getting better and better. Sometimes mulligans to 5 can get there. I have no idea what the opponent is playing on Basic Mountain into no 1-drop. He has a really, I was going to say weird burn hand. Alright, Delver's fine. And a Rift Bolt. Well, that's going to be rough against the Lord. But, oh man. Alright, well, I mean, we go ahead and play a Lord out here. If he chooses to bolt my Lord, hopefully we draw into a land and play out 2 Lords next turn. Let's see what the opponent flips on his... Oh, okay, he's going to hit the Lord. It's fine, we're doing our best. Drawing good cards so far. Looking at the top card. I love it when Delver doesn't flip. Or maybe he'll attack and I'll get to bounce him with a Harbinger. That would be pretty decent. Sleight of hand is fine. So he's going to look at the top 2 cards and put one of them into his hand and the other on the bottom of his library. Then I imagine he'll swing with the Delver, but maybe not. Looks like he forgot. Land is really good. Maybe, I don't know, he's leaving up mana for Mana Leak or something like that. I mean, he could still have bolts in hand. Actually, well, let's see how this plays out. Trying to make the most of this this Maul to 5 by getting as many tokens as possible with the Master of Waves. Alright, so it looks like I got to resolve this Lord. Didn't have Mana Leak or anything like that. Okay, he drew revealed and drew a Sleight of Hand, flipping the Insectile Aberration. Really, really important that we get to resolve this Master of Waves on the next turn. It's got protection from red, so it's going to stick around for a little while. Okay, the opponent plays the Sleight of Hand. Started by tapping red, which is a little bit worrisome. Hopefully he was going for, well, if he was going to play Young Pyromancer, he probably would have played that before the Sleight of Hand. So maybe there's another bolt coming for this other Lord. The opponent has had very good answers so far. I was really thinking about this. Forked Bolt. Alright, well, sometimes you've got it, and with Delver, you usually got it. This time I'm going to take 3. Alright, now I really hope the opponent doesn't have something like a Monoleak. Ugh! Silvergill. Oh, I think we've got to do it. I think we've got to do it. I'm going to keep getting clocked by this aberration. It'd be really nice if I drew a Harbinger off of the Silvergill. Playing Master of Waves leaves Silvergill stranded in my hand, but it brings 6 power to the table with 2 elementals and protection from red. Well, 6 power just in elementals, right? No, sorry, just 4 power in elementals. Let's run the Silvergill out. I'm going to reveal the big boy, the Master of Waves. Okay. Is he thinking about it? Don't think he plays much counter magic, but he might play Remand or something like that. Alright, Silvergill resolves. Let's draw Harbinger. Another Silvergill, I can't complain about that. Though a Forked Bolt would really, really blow. Same thing, I can't imagine he has anything to say about that. Okay. Drew into a land, and as long as he doesn't have another Forked Bolt, something to know, guys, is that Forked Bolt is actually a sorcery. Really important to keep in mind. Still very, very powerful even as a sorcery. He knows I have the Master of Waves in hand now. Thing in the Ice. As I mentioned, if not in this video, I think I did mention at the beginning of this video, Thing in the Ice is pretty terrible against Merfolk. At this point, it would just let me draw more cards. Okay, so we take 3 and go down to 14. This is a human insect. It's not a horror, so it'll still get bounced by Thing in the Ice. Took my 3 damage. What would be a really good draw next turn? I want to say Lord for Island Walk. But I still want to get this Master of Waves on the table. Harbinger of the Tides is pretty nice. There he is. Okay, so... Now the opponent, I still feel like he might be holding up Remand or something, so I think we might want to start by attacking. Because why not? Okay, finally did some damage to the opponent. Now, if we play Harbinger and he has Remand, it'll just come back to my hand. We also have mana to pay for Monoleak, so let's see how this goes. Slowing down Delver is usually really important against Delver decks, just because that 3-point clock can just beat us before we get to do anything. Okay, and that'll be it. Bounce the Delver to his hand. Forked Bolt is still a bit of a blowout. Opponent leads with Sleight of Hand. He knows the only card in our hand is Master of Waves. Okay, Thing in the Ice is losing counters slowly. The opponent wants to get that Delver back out. He's only going to have 1 more blue mana. So, oh, well, there it is. He's got 2 blue mana now. Taps 2, plays 2 Delvers of Secrets. Okay, no problem. Okay, now Lord would be really good just to start the clock. But if we don't draw anything, Master of Waves is a good option. He has no blue mana now, so we don't have to worry about any counter spells. I don't even care if this comes in tapped or not, but go ahead and play this guy. See if the opponent responds by bolting any of my devotion. Maybe not. So this is an interesting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 of these guys. I was saying this is an interesting spot because do we attack with the Silvergills? 2 flipped Delvers are quite threatening. I have to feel that the Master Waves is pretty safe. I don't think... Yep. So I'm going to let the opponent puzzle this out. I like to follow this sort of, I don't know what I'm thinking. I'll just tell him. Alright, I'll tell him. Spreading Seas. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Looks like he's quite concerned about the number of elementals. So I'm going to go ahead and attack with these guys. I was starting to say before, his Delvers are the only threats. I have a lot of other threats, and if he wants to trade Delvers for Silvergills, who have already drawn me cards, that's fine with me. So block or don't block. I have no idea what the 2 cards in the opponent's hands are, and he takes 4, so that attack worked out really well. You know, even really skilled opponents forget about Spreading Seas. Let's see if he gets to flip these Delvers. It'd be pretty nice if he didn't. That's what you get for playing this card. It's not always as good as people think it is. So can he bounce my team with 3 instants or sorceries, unthawing Thing in the Ice? It's fine with me. If he wants to attack, I can just bounce it with Harbinger of the Tides. Okay, Swift Spear is not an instant or sorcery, and we're looking pretty good here. Aether Vial is not exactly what I was hoping to draw. This Thing in the Ice... Alright, so... he can make Swift Spear big and eat one of my Silvergills. This guy has protection from red, but he doesn't have protection from Delver. So I think in this spot... Actually, Swift Spear can eat just about anybody if she gets bigger. So I think... the opponent's on 14. If he wants to block some elementals, he's still going to take a bunch of damage. Yeah, so at this point, I just want to attack with the elementals. If he ultimately flips my team... we get to play out Harbinger of the Tides even before we take any damage from the Awoken Horror. Alright, so it looks like he's going to block 1 of my elementals, 2 of my elementals. Okay, 3 of my elementals, 4 of my elementals. Okay, he's going to take 4. Takes 4, we go to damage, and all of his guys die. Very interesting. Now, since... we can play out Harbinger of Tides. We only need 4 mana if our team gets bounced. Oh yeah, of course, of course. So 1, 2, 3 of my guys die. Yeah, 3 of the guys die. The other one got blocked by a wall, so I'm just going to tap that and play Aether Vial and pass the turn. Okay, the opponent's got 2 cards in hand. If he has 3 instants of sorceries, he can bounce my team. But as I've said multiple times now, Harbinger Tides. Okay, so good game. That was game 1, I think. Or was that game 2? Okay, that was game 1. Alright, so we're going to game 2. The opponent has a bunch of non-creature spells, so negates and dispels are going to be decent. We're bringing all those guys. This is the second match of my 2 matches today that I've played against Thing in the Ice. Cockatrice can be a weird place sometimes. Doesn't have a lot of red creatures. He has those Swift Spears. I don't know if bringing these guys in is going to be worth it. Don't need Echoing Truth. He might play Pyromancer, but we didn't see him. Wouldn't be surprised. Dismember's pretty weak. We do have Harbinger of the Tides to bounce things. Master of Waves is amazing. We don't need our Spreading Seas. Let's take all those out, make some space. Okay, so this is pretty much my same plan against the Grixis control deck that I played against before. We'll leave in the one Dismember just in case he gets out of hand with a Delver. Okay, super solid. That Kira looks pretty good to me. I'm going to wait for the opponent to say whether he keeps or not. Now remember guys, that was a mulligan to 5 that game, if I recall correctly. Opponent doesn't even wait for me to say if I'll keep, but I let him know anyway. Negate is nice to see. We have nothing to do here, so we'll just play out. Wanderwine Hub, don't need to threaten Spell Pierce or anything like that. Let the opponent just play out whatever he wants to. Let's get this party started here. Thing in the ice, there we go. Alright, more and more Silvergills. We're not going to use our Mutavault for a while, so not going to put that on the battlefield yet. I will play a Silvergill, however, revealing another Silvergill. If he wants to bounce my Silvergills, by all means. AEther Vial is going to be okay. Maybe we can play another 2-drop next turn, wait for Kira for a little while. See if the opponent is either slow rolling his red mana or just simply doesn't have access to it. In which case Kira is not as important as she might otherwise be. Sure. Opponent wants me to wait a second. Now my hand is looking really good over here. One of the things that can make it a little bit better would be if I hit a 4th land, I think. Giving me access to 2 drops with Negate backup. Don't quite know what I'll want to negate at this point, but we know the opponent is playing pretty gross spells like Forked Bolt. So just for the reason of Forked Bolt, I might not play out a second Silvergill next turn. Swift Spear is okay. Now what blue instants might he have? Oh, no instants, but he has a sorcery. Starting to remove counters from Thing in the Ice. You know, I am going to play the AEther Vial next turn just because Thing in the Ice could bounce my team, and we get to redeploy everybody pretty fast with AEther Vial. Alright, there's a Harbinger, and that's always a nice guy to see. I think, actually, he might have Spell Snare up, which would be pretty gross. But I think we're going to play Harbinger, bouncing the Swift Spear, just slowing him down a little bit. Now, this is interesting. I really don't want to play into Forked Bolt, getting both of my Silvergills eaten. Master of the Pearl Trident could eat a Bolt next turn, a Forked Bolt or a regular Bolt. Yeah, I don't know. Let's develop the board a little bit. Let's put a Harbinger out. Don't need to draw too many cards right now, I don't think. And we just don't want to eat that Forked Bolt. So, does he have Spell Snare? Would be pretty solid right now. Alright. So we're going to bounce the Swift Spear. Just play the tempo game a little bit. Okay. Follow up with AEther Vial. It's going to help us get our creatures back on the table fast. Actually, with an AEther Vial on 2, we can get Harbinger back on the table to bounce the Awoken Horror before it can do any damage to us. So once again, Thing in the Ice not looking super amazing against Merfolk. Many interesting choices next turn. Many more interesting choices if we draw into a 4th land. Okay, the opponent hits his 4th land. Okay, looks like he's tapping some mana. Maybe a Young Pyromancer. Storm Chaser Mage. Flying Haste. So this is actually a Prowess deck. It's a blue-red Prowess deck featuring Thing in the Ice. 2 Storm Chaser Mages. Okay. I took out my Echoing Truth. That would have been pretty good. Looks like the opponent actually plays a lot of creatures for a Delver deck. Kind of a strange anti-synergy there. Alright, well, the opponent has blockers, and making playing an Island Walk Lord look pretty good here. Doesn't make fully efficient use of my mana. Kira is really interesting. Protects our creatures. I can start dropping lords. This guy can flip my team. I don't know. I really like this Kira plan here. Next turn we can play 2 lords, play Reejerey, Island Walk Lord, or just push 6 damage this turn. I think I'm gonna play Kira. I think this guy's holding a bunch of bolts. I think we're gonna keep him off those bolts. All right. I think next turn maybe he was planning like bolt, swing in the air for 6. Not gonna happen, buddy. I mean, I'll still take the 6 damage, but my opponent likes that. Maybe he'll play Anger of the Gods, which is pretty cool with Stormchaser Mage, I guess. Although, yeah, he gets outside of Anger once the Prowess trigger resolves. Can't imagine a Delver deck is going to bring in Anger of the Gods, though. Maybe it does. Wipe the board of his Swift Spears, his Delvers. Stormchaser Mage gets to live, but that's it. So next turn should be pretty good for us. We've got Kira protecting our guys now. We can play a Lord. We could even leave up Negate if we really wanted to. Not be greedy. Actually, if we draw another land, let's see how this goes. Okay, Swift Spear is good. Does play a lot of creatures for a Delver deck. Takes 1 from the Shivan Reef. He's gonna Lava Spike my head. Okay, so, oh wait, did I take 4? Yeah, so I'm at 15, down from 18. Okay, so he's attacking with all of his dudes. I'm gonna think a little bit because I can block the Swift Spear. It's a 2/3. He's got. Okay, all right. I'm waiting. Okay. Might have some more things to play in his first main phase. Maybe he thinks like I don't know. He was afraid of Kira blocking one of the Stormchaser Mages. But he wants me to wait. Okay, so he's attacking. Alright. So the question is whether we want to double block the Swift Spear. She can only kill one of my guys. I really don't think he has any blue instant speed stuff. If he does have a Vapor Snag, it'll make his guys bigger, but it'll get countered. So I'm taking at this point 6. Okay. 6 is fine. I can go down to 9. Alright, so he's ending, and he's got Thing in the Ice on 2. We're going to have AEther Vial at the ready here. Oh, Dispel. So nice. So we're probably not going to... Looks like I got a little lag here, trying to rearrange my cards. Okay. Probably not going to be blocking with Kira. Just want to protect our guys, which makes me kind of want to attack with her. So we can't play out 2 lords and have counterspells up, which is a little bit unfortunate. I can play... Now, Forked Bolt is a sorcery, but that's okay. I can play out a Silvergill, potentially hit another land. AEther Vial in. So I'm not going to play this Lord. I'm not gonna hard cast it. So, do I want to leave up 2 counterspells? Team will get bounced. But then I can't bring Harbinger in at instant speed. Hard not to be greedy here. Because I have to think this guy's planning on sort of attacking, maybe bouncing my guys with Thing in the Ice next turn. I really would like to be able to leave AEther Vial up to bring Harbinger of the Tides back in. If he has double, sort of double sleight of hand, he's going to get double prowess and be swinging for 9. Even if I counter his spells. If I bring in 2 lords now, and he has nothing to do about it, I can swing for 10. It's not lethal. I do have blocks against Swift Spear. I like having Dispel up, but it's less important with Kira. So if I swing this turn for 6, almost definitely have lethal next turn. Now, Thing in the Ice, I forget, is pretty big, but he's not 9. I think he's a 7-8 or something like that. For 6, the opponent goes down to 12. Alright, what if we push as much damage as possible? We can block the Swift Spear next turn. He can always just like bolt me to the head and attack with the... I think I might not swing with Kira this turn. Yeah, I'll just bring in this guy. I think we're going to just go all out this turn. He might be able to counter my lord, my second lord, but that's... Do I want to play Silvergill? Swing for 6. The idea was to push as much damage as possible in the event that things get flipped by Thing in the Ice. Let's just go ahead. Follow up with this plan. Just lots of pressure. Okay. So we will leave Kira up now, I think. So he's going to take 8 here, going down to 10. Alright, let's see what he's got. Have to say, pretty bold on my part, having access to 2 counterspells and opting to not leave either of them up. But with Kira, I don't think he has anything that frightening. Is he bolting me? Alright, he's bolting me. Oh, so Thing in the Ice will get me. Ugh. Yeah, okay, so we should have left AEther Vial up. Live and learn. Alright, so the counter spells were good. I just happened to draw Kira to make it a bit of a conflict. Do we want to bring in any of this stuff? I think I'm pretty good as it is. Yeah. Alright, decent hand. Alright, so we're going to lead with Oboro here. Okay, we're going to continue to play non-Cavern of Souls lands. I haven't seen any counterspells from his side yet, but he doesn't have mana up now, so we don't have to play Cavern. I'll play Wanderwine Hub. Silvergill. Play Silvergill, and I'll probably play Reejerey next turn, so I'll just reveal Reejerey. Okay, keep hitting lords. Can't complain about that. Let's hope that he doesn't flip the... So yeah, Rich is over here commenting on... So, oh man, alright, so he drew a Lightning Bolt, flipped Delver. That's pretty much the best possible Delver draw there. So he's got Bolt up for Reejerey next turn, but he chooses to tap out for Thing in the Ice. Interesting choice, it's fine. He's going to swing for 3 in the air. Now, So this shows again why it's important not to play Mutavault too early. Sometimes we'll want to have access to 3 blue, which I think in this case we do. Can play out Cursecatcher and play out an Island Walk Lord and just start getting some damage in with Island Walk, past Thing in the Ice. So again, we don't need to play Cavern of Souls yet. So I will play Cursecatcher. Hope that the opponent is a little bit backed up on mana. Too early to say though. I'll attack for 3. Keep up with his Insectile Aberration. See how it goes. Okay, 2 mountains. Pretty rough. Okay. That'll resolve. Forked Bolt would be a huge blowout right here, but we can just counter it. He pays for it, and we lose our creatures. Well, sometimes the opponent has perfect cards. Well, sometimes we have pretty good cards too. I need Merfolk. I'm down to 14 already. Oh, he's saying okay to my land. Alright, we'll bounce this guy. Play out another Island Walk Lord and pass the turn. Harbinger of Tides just slows down Delver a little bit. Delver's a real pain in the butt. He's got to be running out of Lightning Bolts and Fork Bolts. Yeah, I have no lands. You can play Delver of Secrets. Waiting to see if it resolves. And it looks like he played out another mountain. Fine by me. Another land. Not amazing. Okay, the opponent took 7. Very nice. Choosing not to block with Thing in the Ice. Maybe he thinks this guy has Island Walk too, which is a mistake that I'm happy to let him make. Ugh, okay. Good game. 4 Delvers. Wow. Sweet. Thanks for the games. Alright, and thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. That was Blue-Red Delver with Thing in the Ice. Please, if you enjoy the video, subscribe, thumbs up, leave some comments, and I'll see you in the next video. Catch you later.